What is up, Dynasty owners? Jay Pounds here. We got another weekly video for you guys. In this video, we are going to be talking about the free agent auction targets for week 2. As you guys seen last week, we did week 1. This will be an every week thing up until the playoffs, and we will keep you guys churning out them rosters as best we can. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, and leave some comments. It's greatly appreciated, and it helps the channel out tremendously. Before I jump right into the free agent targets, I want to talk about Jay's takeaways from week 1, which is what we're going to call it. I'm Jay, obviously. Makes sense, right? But let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's kind of like Chris Berman's 2-minute drill, fastest 2 minutes. Well, we're going to do the moderate 2 minutes because I'm not a very fast talker, let's face it. Jay's week 1 takeaways. I got the Steelers over the Bills. My initial takeaway from this game is don't worry about Josh Allen. He didn't look the best, but he'll be fine. He was great last year, and I know some people were worried that he couldn't duplicate it. The Steelers' D is just they're a different animal. They have a great pass rush, and it bothered the Bills yesterday. Sorry, this is getting filmed at a different time. It bothered the Bills Sunday, and it was notable. Jalen Hurts looked massively improved. He struggled with accuracy last year. Didn't look like it much this year. And from the Falcons standpoint, I think they made a mistake taking Pitts 4 overall. I think they should have went in a rebuilding direction. The Pitts pick is something you take when you're ready to win. Antonio Brown looks like he may lead the Buccaneers in all receiving categories. If you go back to my buy, sell, hold articles, I was very, very high on Antonio Brown, and I'm happy to see that he did well. We'll see if he can keep doing it. The Vikings look very bad. Cincinnati outplayed them thoroughly. They were down most of the game. They did make a late comeback, but it just does not look good for the Vikings. Justin Jefferson had a decent game. Oh no. Sorry, guys, Amber Alert. Those are never good. Hopefully, whoever that is safe. After that, we got Kyler for MVP. He looked tremendous Sunday against the Tennessee Titans, and I look for that to continue more this season. The Seahawks let Russ cook. Carson Wentz looked much better than he did in Philly. I look for the Colts to look much better than they did week 1 as Wentz starts to get more comfortable with his teammates. The one thing I will say the Colts are lacking is a number 1 wide receiver. Michael Pittman is good, but he is not a number 1 guy in my opinion. Urban Meyer is just not going to make it in the NFL. I know it's only 1 week, but he was a run-heavy coach. He's always been a run-heavy coach. His system, it depends on the run, and you see Sunday's game, the box score. I watched some of it. I didn't get to catch a whole lot of it. I'm just wasn't very interested in that game. But you see Trevor Lawrence with 51 pass attempts. That's way too much as a rookie making his first start. Granted, it was against the Texans defense, and it looks ugly. I believe he'll have a health problem come the end of this year, and he will be out of the NFL. Excuse me. It looked like Aaron Rodgers did not want to be in Green Bay. His body language said it all. I tweeted it out earlier today. It just looks bad. I think it's a lost year in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is very competitive, so that could change. But the way he looked on the field, it just didn't look like he wanted to be there all that much. The last thing I got, guys, is Baker blew it. I am extremely worried about the Cleveland Browns franchise when they decide to pay Baker top-tier money. I do not think he is somebody that you can pay $35-40 million to and win football games. He can't put his team on his back. In my opinion, he makes very bad mistakes at very bad times, and it just the interception play that he threw at the end of the game, or the interception he threw at the end of the game against the Chiefs. Instead of forcing that into double coverage, you throw the ball away there every time. He was under pressure. That's just something. It was 1st and 10. You throw the ball away and live to fight another down. But he did not do that, and as you see, the Chiefs came away victorious. That's all I got for Jay's week 1 takeaways. Let's get right into the free agent targets, guys. Up first, we have Deonte Harris, 1 year, $588,000. He's 61% rostered in Dynasty Owner. I chose Deonte Harris as the number one receiver. He only had 2 catches. Granted, one was for a bomb, for a touchdown, and we know Jameis Winston likes to air it out. So I see Deonte Harris kind of being that option for Jameis Winston, and I think he could help your at minimum your bench rosters out and get you that 25% of the bench score. He can be spot started when he needs to. Hopefully he can grow on this performance and kind of make a name for himself. The New Orleans Saints have nobody in the receiver room. Marquez Callaway was supposed to be it. He didn't look good. He had 1 catch. Juwan Johnson looked okay. He had 2 touchdowns, and that's what you like to see out of a tight end, getting the red zone work. But Adam Troutman led the team in targets as far as pass catchers are concerned, and it just they need somebody to step up, and I'm thinking Deonte Harris might be the guy. He is very small, he's very shifty, but I think Sean Payton will find ways to get him the ball, and I think he is worth a look on your rosters. I'm I'm not sure I should have put him as the number one. I did it because he is so cheap, and the potential that he has there in that offense with the opportunity available. So that's why he comes in at number one. But there are a little bit more sure options, if you want to call them that, here coming in the next few guys. Up at number 2, we have Tim Patrick, wide receiver from Denver, 1 year, $3.3 million. He is 43.79% rostered in Dynasty owner. Tim Patrick, he was one of my free agent auction targets last year, and he worked out well for owners. So I'm hoping it'll be the same this year. Jerry Judy went down with a high ankle sprain. He's not going to have surgery or anything like that, but he is going to be out. As we know, high ankle sprains, especially for somebody as crisp of a route runner as Jerry Judy is, it's going to take him a little bit to get back into full swing. And then on the other hand, Cortland Sutton just did not look like himself. He only had 1 catch, and if somebody's got to step up, Tim Patrick's been there a while. He showed last year he's capable of doing it, and we'll see if he can. I'm adding him if I need him. I haven't went through my rosters just yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that here in a little bit, and we'll see. But I expect to have at least a couple shares of Tim Patrick as a very, very solid bench play coming up for the next 4 to 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever you want to call it. At number 3, we have Zach Pascal, wide receiver, Indianapolis Colts, 1 year, exact same contract as Tim Patrick. It's interesting. 1 year, $3.3 million. He is 38.46% rostered in Dynasty owner, and he caught 2 touchdowns on Sunday. If with Wentz being the new quarterback in town and things like that, for him to show trust in Pascal like that, to throw him not 1 but 2 touchdowns in the red zone, it's just nice to see. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Pascal at his salary at $3.3 million. You can't beat it for that kind of value. If he's gonna get you red zone looks every week and 4 or 5 catches, you cannot go wrong with having somebody like that on your bench. And if you look around at some of the rosters in your league, or if you have multiple teams, just look around in different leagues, and you'll notice there's not much depth on a lot of teams. So these kind of players are going to get playing time on your roster, and that's why I'm recommending them. You're going to find a lot of consistent bench scoring in the free agent run for the first 8 to 9 weeks. Last year we had quite a bit of bench scoring. Guys like Mike Davis, who ended up in your starting lineup, but then I had Tim Patrick on my roster all year in the bench, and I was very happy with it. He was consistent. And I look for that again out of guys like Zach Pascal and Tim Patrick. Paris Campbell played a little bit. He didn't look all that great. T.Y. Hilton's banged up. Like I said, Michael Pittman he's a good, talented receiver, but I don't think he has the number one type X receiver, that you're looking for. And I'm not saying Zach Pascal has that either, but I do think he could end up being a nice slot receiver or something like that for the Colts, and being a very, very nice addition to your roster. After that, we have the only running back on today's list with Cordero Patterson, running back Atlanta, 1 year, $3 million. He is 49.1% rostered in Dynasty owner, And it honestly feels disgusting to have him on this list. I'm not even going to lie. I never pictured myself recommending somebody to pick up Cordero Patterson, but here I am. That's what Dynasty Owner does to you. Most fantasy leagues, you're picking up Elijah Mitchell right now, and you're thrilled about it. But here in Dynasty Owner, you're picking up Cordero Patterson to seeing what happens. Mike Davis struggled. He's going to have bad games, but what concerns me is how do I want to word this here? The slide he had at the end of last season was worrisome, and I thought that was just tied into his body not being used to a full workload and things like that. But then he comes out yesterday and just looks very, very mediocre, like he was at the last half of last season, and just makes me wonder if defensive coordinators have kind of figured him out and figured out his strengths and weaknesses and things like that. If an injury happens or something like that, or Mike Davis just falls out of favor, it certainly looks like Cordero Patterson is going to be the next guy up. He had 7 carries to Mike Davis's 15, and he was way more productive with the snaps that he got compared to Mike Davis's 15. It's just somebody that's worth taking a chance on if you're a contender. Maybe he hits and becomes somebody that you can depend on. I'm not counting on it, but from the looks of it, I don't know really what Atlanta's doing there, but it looks like Cordero Patterson. Wow, I butchered his name there. Cordero Patterson is going to have a consistent role all season. Almost last but not least, we have KJ Osborne, wide receiver, Minnesota, 3 years, $890,000. He is only rostered in 7.9% of Dynasty Owner leagues. This kid came out of nowhere. He's been a special teamer, and then just all of a sudden he's getting 9 targets in a game. He had the second most targets in the game. Adam Thielen had 10, Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne each had 9. That shocked me to see, but he looked good. I watched the red zone on Sundays, and every time I seen him making a play, it just he looked a natural. He looks like a good football player, and I know we were all expecting Amir Smith-Marset to take that number 3 role in Minnesota, but it looks like it might be KJ Osborne. And as you guys know, I'm not a huge Adam Thielen guy. I just feel like he's kind of starting to get old. He did have a great game Sunday, but at some point his age is going to start showing through, and that's when somebody like KJ Osborne could step up and be a big time player on your roster. We haven't quite seen Justin Jefferson get double teamed week in and week out, and once that happens, it's going to open up things for the rest of the offense. And with as bad as Minnesota's defense looks Sunday, it's going to be a pass happy team in my opinion. After that, we got my honorable mention. He's only honorable mention because I wrote this before the Monday night game. I didn't do the video till after, obviously, or we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But I wrote the article before the Monday night game, so I just figured if anybody had a big game, I would do this and put an honorable mention in. Sammy Watkins would probably be the number 1 guy here. Yes, his salary is a little high at $5 million, but he had 4 catches for 96 yards. He looked good. It looked like Lamar liked him, or it looked like Lamar trusted him, and I just think the sky's the limit there with them too, especially when they haven't had a number 1 wide receiver in quite some time in Baltimore. Rashad Bateman's down with injury on IR, so he's out for at least 6 weeks. So I'm looking for Sammy Watkins to kind of build a rapport with Lamar Jackson and see where it goes. For $5 million, if you can make it fit, it's definitely worth a shot. That is all I got for you guys this week. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and notification bell, all that good stuff. Stay safe out there. Good luck on your 2021 chase for the ring, and we'll catch you guys next week.